way back, the president of this country once said in Runyankole, Njakubamaraho, I'll finish them all. According to what we are witnessing, we can bear witness that this is a justification of this statement. Political parties are getting disorganized. They are blaming each other of being bribed. Each is condemning the other for eating money from the evil source, which is the government. As we talk of now, DPUPC, we don't know where they belong, whether they exist or not. But let me assure the country, let me assure the government and NRMO that you're only taking personalities. You're not killing the ideology of these parties. It is these ideologies that people subscribe to. And it is these ideologies that are there to answer people's grievances. Unless when this country and the government, unless when the president comes up to sort out the grievances of the people, taking different politicians, recruiting them into your party, will not settle the grievances that people have. Because if you take Mao, that does not mean that the entire North is well off in health sector, road network, education. That does not guarantee employment for the youth in this country. Therefore, they should answer such salient questions. I'm tempted to think that maybe the NRM ideology is becoming weak and weak, that it cannot hold people together. That is why they have resorted to commercialization of politics and buying out different politicians from their parties to be recruited in NRM. My advice is simple. NRM should go for a retreat to rebrand their ideology such that it fits the test of time. And then NRM should also learn to tolerate different ideologies that are not similar to theirs. They should also learn to dialogue. We may not believe the same thing, we may not be in the same party, but through dialogue, we can always advise each other for the way forward of the country. Fellow Ugandans, let this not worry you. In Kenya, 20 years back, there was a leader by names of Daniel Arap Moi. He did the same. He disorganized all political parties. He dismantled them. One political party could split into three. Some were destroyed completely. Different politicians crossed. But this did not stop the revolution in Kenya to remove Moi. Everything Moi tried, even the accident that Moi Kibaki got was suspicious. But Kenyans were determined for Moi to go. NRM should buy a leaf from this. Unless when people's grievances are settled. But if not, when time to go comes, NRM will go. And it will never be. It will be as if it never existed. But even then, we are only forgetting history in Uganda. Before 1980, most politicians from DP crossed to UPC. This did not stop Obote to go. I know Museveni as a good historian. I advise him to go into these records of history. This will help him to chart a way forward for this country. This is my prayer. The President, Mr. Museveni and NRM, should be ready to hand over the country to other people who have strong ideologies that stand the test of time. Thank you.
Ennaku zino enkubagano eziri mu opposition kati nga tubagamba opposition twekuba kati tulinganga abavudde mu mulama gwa kukonfrontinga oba ogw'okulwanira muna Uganda. Fenidi twagala kubuulirira nti one twebuulire nga opposition kisookera ddala nti omusajja gwe tulwana naye agenda ye yakutta buli institution yonna eyimiriddewo yeka yabasigalawo nga ye. Mukimanyi bulungi nti wali ebbaluwa gye yawandikidde Nobert Mao w'osomeyo ebbaluwa kubanga ebbaluwa yawadde history nga mpanvu nnyo okubira ddala mu Bachwezi naye ye ng'alaga nti okuggyako Abachwezi ne ye tewali muntu mulala yenna abadde tewali bukulembeze obadde butegeera okuggyako Abachwezi ne ye ng'omuntu.
But in particular, we want to reflect on this gallant son of Uganda, Honorable Hussein Kyanjo, who was an open-minded man, who used to tell the plain truth day and night, who was a good communicator, a politician, a man who could tolerate everybody no matter the difference in ideology, a man who could dialogue with everybody to chart a way forward for Uganda. He was a man who believed in federalism because he had realized that there was an equal sharing of resources in the country, and the only alternative to that was to create a new system of governance where people could handle their issues based on their regions. As National Economic Empowerment Dialogue, that is one of our ideology and the main ideology. We believe this country should go back to regional governance because it takes a Musoga to understand the problems of a Basoga. It takes a Munyankole to understand the problems of Banyankole. It takes a Muganda to understand the problems of Baganda. The same as to Acholi, Lango, Bugisu, Bukedi. So, as we mourn Kyanjo, we should learn something that unitary government, unitary system of governance cannot take forward this country. It is now time to start talking about regional governance in this country as even a way of solving this rampant kind of corruption. But as we mourn Kyanjo, there is this important question that the country must answer, the government must answer. The death of Kyanjo was surrounded the rumors of poisoning. Yes, we believe in death. But let people die according to God's will. Let people die when it is their time. But many Ugandans are discontented. And actually, about Kyanjo, himself said, records are there. But even then, police and even the government did not come out to do at least some investigations. Because if there is an allegation about poison, about such an important person, it is upon the government, it's duty and the police to investigate. Why should they leave things in suspense? It is not only Kyanjo. Let me hope the country has not forgotten the death of Nebanda. The country has not forgotten what surrounded the death of the late Speaker of Parliament, Olanya Gilbert. You still remember what surrounded the death of Nyakairima, Mayombo. 20 years back and more, there was a lot of noise about the death of Balakichiria, Abe Kafumbe Mukasa, Sam Sabagereka. Muslims are not yet contented about the death of Sheikh Muzata and Anas Kalisa. Just a few months back, the country was set in disarray when the Minister of Information and National Guidance, Honorable Chris Baryomunsi, claimed that he was poisoned. A mere suspicion of being poisoned means there is a source of poison in this country. We put this government at task to put a commission of inquiry to investigate where is the source of poison, who gives the poison. Honorable Segirinya has always said it. Honorable Nambozi, maybe you can give a benefit of doubt to Tamale Mirundi, but he also claims he has always survived being poisoned. This is a very strong allegation that we can't just let pass. The government should put a commission of inquiry to settle people's feelings about this allegation of their people dying out of being poisoned. Don't forget that last week there was a school in Mukono, Nakanyonyi, where the entire school was poisoned. So it is becoming common, you know. But we are losing people. A life of one Ugandan matters a lot because he's a taxpayer. And even then, the government is there to protect our lives and our property. So we request the government and police to go into that and give thorough investigations. And this time around, we need a report out about that. Our second point, last week and time past, we have had issues of these organizations